Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is Thursday, September 4th. Holy cow, already cruising through that first week of September here. It is just after 4 p.m. if you're on the west side of the country. And gosh, just after 7 p.m. for you East Coasters. Hope you guys are doing well. What do we got? Midnight out there in the UK. So if you're a night owl, if you're a British night owl, welcome on in. Really appreciate you guys for jumping on in for the live. I know sometimes when it comes to the news coverage and everything like that, I kind of just do these last minute. But one of the things that I love about you guys is you're here to party no matter what. So even if it's something that's not really planned, you guys will show up. And we've got, a couple trailers to talk about today and just a couple other pieces of news that I found, interesting enough to me to cover. And of course we're going to talk about that Discord, and of course we're going to talk about the merch shop. I can't stop talking about this stuff. And guys, let me know if you're super annoyed. I totally get it. It's just that I put so much time into the shop, and I make little tweaks here and there that I think make it maybe a little more palatable and accessible for you guys to at least just kind of browse through. So I'll be really quick about that part of it. But let's get into a couple other things before we jump into the housekeeping and the news. First off, again, thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, our amazing group of Death Squad mods. Really appreciate all of you guys so much. Guys, membership is going to be a lot more fun than it's ever been because of this Discord and everything we can do over there. Last night, we did a public watch party with Evil Dead from 2013, Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead, and oh my gosh, it was a blast. Like, I wasn't even on camera, all the mics were turned off. I think at one point we maybe had like 10 people in there, but the chat was flying. We were, I don't know, just getting kind of down and dirty and having a really good time. So it was a totally different experience than what you get here on the live streams, and I love that. I love that it's just a little something different. And I'm sure there's a part of my personality that comes out when it's just words through a keyboard, talking about a movie or giving each other a hard time, a good-natured ribbing, as it were. I don't know. You guys let me know. The folks that were hanging out there last night, I think we had Erica, Amanda, Ashton. I think Gene popped in for a little bit there. Brett popped in for a little bit as well. So, guys, for all the folks that are not part of the Discord, let them know how much damn fun it was. And if you're a channel member, you're going to get at least 2 of those Discord exclusive hangouts every month. So you're going to get a watch party. You're also going to get a mixtape listening party. So same kind of vibe. We just communicate in the chat. We listen to music. We watch movies. Really fun stuff. And it's just $1 a month to become a member. So really not that bad. But hey, the other option, as you can see there on YouTube, is we've got super chat goals. So from here on out, I'll do these super chat goals for a movie or a mixtape party. It's going to be 10 super chats of $2 or more. If we reach that goal, I'll open one up to the public. So you don't have to be a channel member to enjoy that one. You just have to be on the Discord. It'll be in a public channel. And then for the members, we've got a private channel just for those guys and gals. And then another thing that Erica brought up yesterday, guys, is she was like, what if you did like a crazy big super chat goal, but it was for a marathon? Like, what if during spooky season, I watched, 3 or 4 movies in a row? Something like that. It would have to be a hefty super chat goal, that's for sure. But if I sort of curated it with you guys first and found out what kind of marathon you would want me to watch. So let me know. The ideas that popped into my head right away is you could do like Halloween 78, Halloween 2 from 81. Then you could watch H2O and Resurrection. You could watch that like Laurie Strode timeline, or you could do the Thorn trilogy. You could do Halloween's 4, 5, and 6. You could do the David Gordon Green timeline. So Halloween 78, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. But of course, it doesn't have to be just the Halloween franchise. Those are just the ones that pop into my mind. So guys, let me know. I'm thinking no more than 4 movies. I'm only human after all. So no more than 4 movies, at least 3. But some sort of marathon that you think would be fun to watch over on the Discord. And I guess the last thing I'll say before I say what's up to all of you guys is there is a poll in the chat. If Jaws had a modern remake, who should direct it? 14% of you say Jordan Peele. 14% say Mike Flanagan. 0% say Gareth Edwards, which is surprising to me. I actually think he would be the best person out of those three to do a Jaws movie, just based on what I've seen from his Jurassic World. And then 71% of you say no one, leave it alone, which doesn't surprise me at all that you guys are saying that. But feel free to take part in that poll. Just a little bit of fun there for you. Yeah, let me just say what's up to everybody, and then we'll get down to some business here. How about that? So we've got Brett from Good Real Hunting hanging out. What's happening, Brett? So good to see you. Hey guys, they are streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go as quick as I can so we don't have to miss out on that stream. So just so you guys know, Good Real Hunting, 8 p.m. Eastern. We got Chester Franklin Jr. in the house. What's happening, Chester? Oh, and I forgot to say, Good Real Hunting, not only a channel member, also a Death Squad mod. Thank you so much, Brett. Really appreciate you. We got Erica, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods, and the sole moderator on the Discord as well. Thank you so much, Erica, for helping us set that all up. We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's happening, Paula? So good to see ya. Ashton Luck is in the house. Adrian James. King Matthew the Third. What's happening? What's happening? We've got Gory Tiger in the house as well. We've got Amanda, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Amanda? So good to see ya. Who else do we have hanging out here? We got Billy Judd. What's happening, Billy? I feel like it's been just a little bit. Hopefully you've been well. So good to see you. We've got Denise Wheat, one of our great Patreon members and channel members. How are you doing, Denise? So good to see you. Always, always a pleasure. And we got Gene Whitacombe hanging out. Says, I'm sorry I couldn't stick around last night's Discord live stream, but I was happy to be there to say hi. No worries at all, Gene. We're going to, they will be at certain times of the day. So maybe it was too late for you last night. I totally get it. But we'll be having a lot of fun there on the Discord. And Gene, I'm sure you could tell from being over there that it's kind of active all the time. People are saying good morning to each other, checking how each other's weeks are going. It's a really, really great way to connect with the community in between the streams we have here. We got Tyler Adams, one of our great channel members in the chat. What's happening? He says, I love the Jaws stuff in Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, it had, especially that first act, had a big time Jaws vibes for me. All the stuff on the water, I was like, ooh, this is so exciting. I think Gareth Edwards would actually be like a good hire if they were to do that. Now, I hope they never try to remake Jaws, but it might happen. I don't know. It might happen, like once Spielberg's gone and all that kind of stuff, and there's no one to really like block it, or I don't know. It could happen. I wouldn't put it past him. I never thought Dawn of the Dead would get remade, not because it's like untouchable, but because it just wasn't as big, but big enough for horror fans. And there you go. It was one of the better remakes we've ever seen. So how about that? All right. Looks like I've said hello to everybody. Welcome on in, folks. Okay, guys, we're going to barrel through some fun stuff here. First item on the agenda today is I'm wrapping up my 29th day. So it'll be officially 30 days come 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. 30 days with no alcohol come 4 o'clock. So more than halfway through this day, just past that halfway mark. So very, very excited. And thank you guys so much for being that extra layer of accountability here. There have been times where I've forgotten to mention it or bring it up or something like that. And usually somebody will either ask me in the live chat or ask me after the fact. So yeah, it's going great. I'm feeling awesome. And it's helping so much with going through therapy and just trying to get my head on straight and figure out, what I need to do moving forward to make the best of what time I've got left, which hopefully is a really long time. I'm talking like I'm sick or something. Guys, as far as I know, I'm not sick, but I guess we always should be thinking about, trying to make the most of the time we have left, because we really don't know. But yeah, closing in on 30 days of no alcohol. Thank you guys so much for your support. The folks in the live chat, the folks dropping in later on to comment have been super sweet about it. You guys have been awesome. That's probably something I'll chronicle, when it comes to the big milestones on this sober journey, the non-alcohol journey. I'll probably, chronicle those through YouTube shorts. So you might see a little short pop up every now and then when I hit a milestone number. And then, hey, another little bit of news that I didn't tell you guys about. But I've got a job interview tomorrow with so here, I'll give you the backstory. Currently, what I do right now is I set appointments for a window and door replacement company. And I was working an event, and it was a very lively event, but no one was hearing my pitches and my calls for them to come on over and sign up and everything. I wasn't getting any love. And, you know, it was like 90 degrees and really humid, and I'm just like sweating my ass off and everything. And, you know, it's only a few hours, but it feels like a lifetime when no one wants to talk to you and you keep on trying to bring people over with your various, I mean, look at me. I'm a very charming guy. If you're going to say no to me, I'm kind of blown away. Anyways, at the end of the event, I'm sitting there tearing down my tent and everything like that. And the woman that was working in the like vegetable stand next to me comes on over and she's like, "Hey, do you like hummus?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like hummus." And she was like, "Would you like to take some home?" And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely, I would. That'd be great." And she's like, she introduces herself and asks me for my name. And so we introduce each other or ourselves to each other. And then, you know, I go over to grab the hummus and she's like, "You did really good tonight." And I was like, no one signed up for my stuff. Like, I had a rough night. She's like, "Well, you didn't give up. You have a really nice pitch, blah, 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 blah." And she's like, "My work is looking for people if you're interested in an opportunity." And I was like, "Oh, what do you got?" Because I was actually thinking I need something that's a little more robust here, a little more consistent. And it turns out she works for like a company where they do financial advisement for people. And she was like, "I'd love to get your number." She grabbed my number. She took a picture of the YouTube page. So I don't know if she's watching right now, but maybe she is. And she was really sweet and everything like that. And I was like, when I got home, I'm like, shit, I should have gotten her number. I should have asked like what the name of the company was. Like, I've got her name and she has my number, and maybe I blew it. But she was the one that came up to me. And then yesterday she reached out and she was like, "Hey," or no, yesterday, maybe it was Tuesday, she reached out and she was like, "I want to set up an interview with you on Friday at 2:30. So this company works within 30 countries all over the world, and they do their own training. They don't even want to see my resume. They just want to make sure that the personality is a good fit and we have good chemistry, and I could work remotely from home. It could be an amazing opportunity. So if you guys are into, if you're into praying for people, I'll take the prayers. If that's not your thing, that's totally cool. I'll take all the positive vibes and juju you've got. Send it all on over to me. And yeah, I think I just have to be myself, and this could be an amazing opportunity. So just wanted to put that out for you guys. Wish me luck, say some prayers, or whatever you got, burn an effigy of me. If that, I don't know, is that good luck or bad luck or just whatever you put into it? I don't really know, but yes, thank you guys so much in advance from your pal, Davey Deathray. Okay, let me jump on over to the comments. It looks like we got some more people jumping on in. There's like 60 some comments. You guys are friggin' crazy. I love it. All right, thank you so much on the congrats there on the fuck yeah for the 30 days. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's man, the first week is just weird because you're like coming out of the fog. So it's not like difficult in the sense that I like wanted to have something to drink. You just don't really feel good yet. so your brain is like, well, if you're not going to feel good, you might as well like, have some fun or whatever. But it just got to the point where it wasn't really fun for me. So it feels very easy at day 30. And I've got plenty of other vices like sugar and other stuff like that. So plenty of bad stuff I can still get into that isn't quite as destructive. So there you go. Thank you so much, Amanda. Really appreciate you. Yeah, no. As far as I know, I have plenty of time left. What's happening, Sergeant Shitty Pickle here? Shitty. Hope you're doing well, bud. Great to see you. Always a pleasure. You know what? I do sound so happy right now, don't I? Hopefully, I know I still have my little flubs and my little stutters, and sometimes I'm not as on as I am other times. I mean, I'm not technically a professional yet, but I do feel like in general, I'm way more with it on the live streams and just more with it in general. So that feels good. I feel more present in my own life. So I'll say that. And again, it's no judgment to anyone else that enjoys that enjoys that kind of stuff. I wish I could. For me, it just came to a point where I probably couldn't have one or two. So more power to the people who've got a grip on it. I don't, and I think if you don't, then you should at least know it and act accordingly. So how about that? Thank you so much, Mika. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We got Double Feature Podcast in the house, guys. If you don't subscribe over to Double Feature Podcast, hop on over. Give Mika and Kira some love. Why the heck not? It's free. Subscribe. You might as well. And you can always, just like with this channel, if it doesn't end up being your thing, I won't take it personally if you unsubscribe. I'll cry, but I won't take it personally. And it'll just be like one solo tear, just one powerful solo tear falling down there. Sergeant Shitty's greeting all you beautiful people. Thank you so much, Brett. Really appreciate you. I am not a jazz radio DJ. Ooh, you're kicking it with the smooth jazz 107.5. Oh, yeah. We call this channel The Darkness. Oh, this is your host, Davey Deathray. We're going to get into the smooth jams of Miles Davis coming up next. How about that? Was that good for you? Did that do it for you, Sergeant Shitty? Can't give up. Stay consistent. The right opportunity will find you. You got this. Thank you so much. Yeah. If she is watching, you gotta hire Davey. No, it was very I was very surprised to not. Women to go up to a man in public for any sort of initiation of communication, regardless of whether or not it's romantic or if it's just business, it's something that as a guy, I'm not used to in any regard, So I was like kind of taken aback. It was great though. It was a nice boost after a work shift that was, relatively hard mentally speaking. And guys, we've got Robert the Wolfman in the chat. Ow, ow. How are you doing, Robert? Great to see you. One of our channel members and Death Squad mods and a teammate of mine over at the Horror Show channel. How about that? Let's see here. Yeah, everyone's name is back. Maybe YouTube decided I wasn't cool or popular enough anymore. I know that they're trying that. So I don't know if that's going to be something they stick with forever. Yeah, Hummus Lady, hire Davey. There you go. I would say her name. I just don't want. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep. I got to keep some stuff close to the vest, just so I'm not really putting everything out there. How about that? Does that work for you? We got Reign of Horror in the house. What's happening, Reign of Horror? Great to see ya. Yes, you got to manifest it. You just got to think positively and be confident that like if I put my best foot forward and I'm just myself in that interview and charm the proverbial pants off of everyone, then I should be in a good spot. We got Destiny Faulkner in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Des? So great to see ya. So great to see you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Hopefully, I don't know. What is it like in Texas this time of year? Is September just as hot as August like it is in Arizona? Because to me, it just feels like August times 2 out here. Really appreciate all the well wishes and good lucks in the chat, guys, for the interview. And Reign of Horror. Gosh, why do I want to say Reign of Terror? I guess I just think about dictatorships. The Reign of Terror. Reign of Horror drops a $9.99 super chat, says, wishing you the best of luck. Cheers. Thank you so much, Reign of Horror. Really appreciate it. That is so sweet of you to drop that $9.99. Thank you so very, very much. Hell yeah. The Darkness, yes. The Darkness is a great band, but it would be a cool name for a jazz channel too. So wet now. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. We got KB Loves Movies in the house. What's happening, KB? So great to see you, man. Always a pleasure to have you jump on in. Gosh, KB, I got to have you back on the channel. And guys, speaking of which, I'm planning something. I've talked about it a couple times. I know, I'm taking forever to get to the business. Talked about it a couple times, but I'm planning something for, I think it's going to be early October. So it's like a marathon that I want to be a subathon, to increase the subs here. Maybe we can hit that 2,000 mark before Halloween. And if we do, I will dress up as the Alpha from 28 years later and do a live stream right here on Halloween. So I don't think we're going to make it there. We're at like 1723 right now. I don't think we're going to make it, I challenge you guys, share the channel. Let's see if we can do it. And then I can, you know, literally and figuratively make an ass out of myself here on a live stream on Halloween. And so the subathon and the whole marathon thing, it's going to be 8 to 10 hours, probably like, you know, 11 a.m. my time to like 7 or 9 my time, just depending on how many guests I can get. But I want to have a guest for about a half hour every hour so I can catch up with you guys in the chat. I've already got an idea of what I want to talk to with each guest about. It's going to be a similar subject with each one. And not only is it going to be, it's not just for me and, you know, getting watch hours and subs and everything. We're going to do a fundraiser for a local food bank here in the Phoenix area. So there's a food bank called St. Mary's Food Bank. They've been around since 1967, I believe. And they're not directly affiliated with a church. They call themselves St. Mary's because the St. Mary's Catholic Parish originally donated a building to them and $3,000 back in 1967 so they could get everything started. So they just kept the name as like a tribute. So, you know, regardless about how you feel about organized religion or anything like that, the food bank helps everybody. So there's not like, there's no qualifying factors that they just help you if you're this or you're that or anything like that. They just help families who need food in the Phoenix area get food. So I want to do a fundraiser through them. You have to have 10,000 subscribers to actually do a fundraiser through Google or YouTube. But what I can do is I can share the donate site. You guys can report back to me how much you're donating. You know, any super chats or anything like that, we can donate to them as well once those funds come in. So I just thought it would be a fun kind of thing to do. 8-hour marathon. Let's see if we can get there. Who knows? And that idea was actually given to me by Cecil from the Horror Show channel. He was like, call it Davy Day. So I'll probably call it something silly like Davy Day, Davy Death Days. So anyways, I'm going to get going with a couple other things here. This is going to be really quick, guys. The Discord server is live. It is super awesome. Check it out. You can see some of the interaction right there. Ben Grimm dropping his Freddy Krueger high. We got Gene Whitacombe in there. Ashton's in there. King Matthew III. This is just the main chat, guys, but you can see over on the side, we've got movie talk, memes, pics, and vids, music, self-promotion, so you can share some things that you're working on. We have non-horror chat, and then we've got a channel for polls as well. We also have some of the YouTube, like anytime I do a live stream or post a video or a short or something like that, it drops it in here and notifies everyone. So it's a good way to just get an extra reminder when something goes on in the channel. And then, of course, we've got our members only. And then we've got our, you know, channels where we can do listening parties and watch parties and all that stuff. So it's free to join the Discord. The link is in the description below. And like I said earlier, it's a really great way for us to, you know, just kind of have some side chat and for you to, for all of us to grow closer as a community in between the live streams. So it's really great for that. And then I told you this was going to be really quick. Spooky season merch is here. Guys, I've sort of reformatted this opening page here. So yes, you can click the button and you can go straight to the spooky season stuff if you want to. There's a whole bunch of really fun, you know, merch here. There's mugs, hats, tank tops, t-shirts, hoodies. We even have a few aprons. We've got a Leatherface apron, Tiffany from the Child's Play series apron, and Art the Clown apron that says drop on by the Clown Cafe. And we've got koozies. We've got Hit the Bricks merch is there as well. So we have Hit the Bricks Halloween merch as well. Look at that pinhead mug. Such sights to show you. Love it. We even have a sticker sheet, some pint glasses. You're going to need a bigger boat hoodie with the Amity Davy Death Ray logo. Really fun stuff here. But the coolest part about what I've done with the site, and this is going to be very, very quick. Yes, there's a new promo code, SPOOKY, all capital letters, SPOOKY. 10% off your order. That's not going to be around for all of spooky season, guys. I'm not going to tell you when I'm taking that off, but I just urge you to get in your order if you like any of this stuff. And then the coolest thing I think that I did most recently is I was thinking, man, there's so much here now. I want it to be easier for people to browse. So we have buttons where you can just check out the hats. You know, if you're a hat guy, you can just go through all the hats. Holy shit, there's Billy the Puppet from Saw. There's Pumpkin King is the goat hat. We got a Bela Lugosi Dracula hat. We've got all sorts of really fun stuff here. And then, you know, you can go over to hoodies because we have a shitload of hoodies now. The Cult Corner hoodie, Movie Punks, Death Squad, Freddy Krueger, Ripley from Aliens, Ash Williams from Evil Dead. There's all sorts of stuff. All of these spooky season badge logos are available on hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, and some of them are available on tank tops, pint glasses, and hats as well. So yeah, you can go through all of that. Mugs and glassware. There's a whole bunch of these. We have an Oktoberfest glass. Pint glass. How cool is that? Sweet little Oktoberfest, which is, you know, technically now. September is when they do Oktoberfest. So yeah, all sorts of stuff. We got Candyman is represented here with this Be My Victim. We've also got Candyman is on a tank top. I thought some of the ladies might like a Candyman tank top since it's kind of a sexy movie. You know, there's an interesting sort of tension there in Candyman. And then we got shirts and tanks. So yeah, guys, it's just easier to sort of browse through everything now on the shop. I really like this, the odds and ends, you know, koozies, aprons. We got the tote bag, some stickers, some magnets, all sorts of fun stuff. So again, 10% off. Use the promo code SPOOKY. I've got the link for the shop pinned in the chat. And having said that, I think it's time to get on over to some news after catching up with you guys. So let's see what you're saying really quick. Yeah, it says, get away from her, you bitch. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? The Tiffany one says, Barbie, eat your heart out. Guys, I went super nerdy on these. I wanted it to not only be a cool image, I wanted all of the images to have a similar sort of style and like a whole branding to them. All of those shirts have a Davey Death Ray Spooky Season logo on the left sleeve. All of the hoodies have the Davey Death Ray Spooky Season logo, like kind of towards the butt on the back. Very fashionable. Guys, I'm going to make waves in the fashion industry. I'm just saying right now. I'm just saying it right now. And yes, the Ripley is available. Yeah. T-shirt, tank top, or a mug so far. And I think a baseball hat too. We got Ghostface from Scream. So like I've said a lot of times here, there is something for every horror fan. We even have the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. I'm just about to launch an Elvira tank top, t-shirt, hoodie, and mug because we got to have our girl Elvira. So if I'm missing anyone, reach out with a DM. Let me know. And Erica, thank you so much for sharing the link there. Yeah, man, the black phone is good. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. And right now is the best time to grab that, Mika, because you can get 10% off. So, 10% off the whole order, not just a specific item or anything like that. What's happening, Prince? How are you doing, buddy? So good to see you. Okay, guys, let's go on over to the news. All right, make sure my hair is looking decent, even though I'm like tiny in the corner there. Hello, I'm tiny in the corner. What is that? What is that? And guys, I just want to let you know, I just want to remind you, so Reign of Horror dropped that $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. That means 9 more super chats of $2 or more before the stream ends. If you guys want to have another public watch party next week on the Discord server, and spoiler alert, it will be Pumpkinhead from 1988, a great movie to watch heading into spooky season. But okay, let's tackle some news right here. All right, guys, so we just got a brand new trailer that dropped for The Black Phone 2. This one comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. Headline reads, Black Phone 2, The Grabber channels Freddy Krueger in new official trailer for horror sequel. So let's check this one out. The article says The Grabber is back from the dead in director Scott Derrickson's Black Phone 2 this October, and Universal has released the brand new official trailer today. Watch it below. Black Phone 2 is rated R for strong, violent gore. Sorry, I'm like skipping words here. Black Phone 2 is rated R for strong, violent content, gore, teen drug use, and language. The horror sequel opens in theaters on October 17th from Blumhouse and Universal, and judging by the trailer, we're in store for an Elm Street-style slasher wherein Ethan Hawke's Grabber is brutally killing a fresh batch of victims in their dreams. And we like the sound of that. So they just give a synopsis here of Black Phone 2. We've covered this before. I don't feel like we really need to dive into all of this, but if you've seen the original Black Phone, you know the setup for Black Phone 2. And yeah, let's check out this trailer here. I will read this little bit here. How about this? Quote, as Finn, now 17, struggles with life after his captivity, the headstrong 15-year-old Gwen begins receiving calls in her dreams from the Black Phone and seeing disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp known as Alpine Lake. Determined to solve the mystery and end the torment for both her and her brother, Gwen persuades Finn to visit the camp during a winter storm. There, she uncovers a shattering intersection between the grabber and her own family's history. Oh, baby. Together, she and Finn must confront a killer who has grown more powerful in death and more significant to them than either could imagine. All right, guys, let's check out this trailer. I'm pumped for this movie. I'm very, very excited for what it's going to bring us here. So I'm going to pause the music here and let's go ahead and check this bad boy out right now. Oh, man, that looks pretty damn good right there. Oh my gosh. Let's play that. Let's talk about it a little bit. I'm going to mute it and play it again for me in the live chat. Let's see. The Fanta stuff, man. Oh, you found the Myers, man. Can't find the Myers out here in Arizona. Got the Chucky though. We got the Chucky going. And welcome on in, Eli, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of talk with the Black Phone stuff. Saw the shorter version of this trailer. This one is much more descriptive and violent. Yeah, it looks great. Looking really good. Giving Freddy vibes, showing, yeah, with the attacking while asleep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Gwen's the new Tina. Gosh, hopefully, I mean, I don't think they would have shown that if that's like her character dying. But yes, she seems to be very seriously injured in that moment. But man, that would be super weak of them to show that in the trailer. Absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm just going to cruise on over to the next story here. So let's see here. We got another trailer, guys. We've got another trailer. And I'm just trying to be economical with the time because I know Good Reel Hunting is starting pretty soon. So I just want to kind of, get these going. And then, guys, tomorrow night, we're doing a live tier maker ranking of all of the horror franchises. And you guys get to vote. So I'll be sharing a link with you. And you are going to have a direct say in where these franchises fall. So that'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. A little bit of a late night one for since it's Friday. So just want to remind you guys of that. You can set the notification. That stream is up on the page. But let's go ahead and jump over into this story here. All right, guys. So we've got a 28 years later, The Bone Temple trailer that's just dropped. And this one is coming out January 16th. So, usually not the best track record with movies that come out in January, specifically when we're talking horror movies. However, I was really, really lukewarm on 28 Years Later, maybe even cold on 28 Years Later. I really enjoyed the first half. The second half didn't really do anything for me. And honestly, it felt like a 2-act story instead of a 3-act story. So to me, 28 Years Later felt incomplete. There was some really weird editing. There was all this stock footage of like archers and weird stuff going on that was just super distracting to me. And cutting Aaron Taylor Johnson out of the back half of the movie, to me, was like cutting the legs out from under the movie, unfortunately. So I'm thinking that The Bone Temple is actually going to be better because it's going to be able to tell more of a story than the first movie did. And I ended up watching this trailer yesterday. We'll watch it together here. But let's go ahead and cover this article brought to us by way of John Squires from Bloody Disgusting. And here we go. The article says, the official trailer for Nia DaCosta's sequel, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, has arrived this morning with the film set for release on January 16th, 2026. The titular Bone Temple is a primary location in Danny Boyle's trilogy starter, and the title of DaCosta's sequel makes it clear we'll be returning to that location. The Bone Temple will focus on Jack O'Connell's The Bone Temple will focus on Jack O'Connell's Sir Jimmy Crystal and his merry band of evildoers, with young hero Spike also returning. Here's the brand new official synopsis from Sony. Expanding upon the world created by Danny Boyle and Alex Garland in 28 Years Later, but turning that world on its head, Nia DaCosta directs 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. In a continuation of the epic story, Dr. Kelson finds himself in a shocking new relationship, with consequences that could change the world as they know it. And Spike's encounter with Jimmy Crystal becomes a nightmare he can't escape. In the world of the Bone Temple, the infected are no longer the greatest threat to survival. The inhumanity of the survivors can be stranger and more terrifying. Now, the article also says Cillian Murphy's character from 28 Days Later is expected to make a brief appearance in the Bone Temple, with the sequel script once again being written by Alex Garland. So really quick before we get into the trailer, this just sounds like they're pulling more from George Romero. It's always been the people are the bigger monsters in these zombie movies. Gosh, I hope this movie's better. It's really not bringing anything new to the table other than the fact that zombies run. I'm not the biggest fan of the 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. I find it like extremely derivative other than the fact that the zombies run and that they try to act like they're not zombies. But they are, right? There's no turning an infected person back to a human. So they are in essence dead and zombies. So got a great shot of somebody wearing hammer pants. Is this Maynard James Keenan from Tool here? That's what it looks like to me. Let me know your thoughts on Tool in the chat or in the comments. So let's go ahead and check out this trailer, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut the music here, and we will watch this one together. Here we go. There we go.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging and hazardous occupation. In fact, it may not even exist at all.
Oh, what is this? I cannot see. Oh, I am this. None can excel.
Many of the things we take for granted will one day pass away completely.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
When that time comes, men will no longer communicate. We may have diseases and barbarism.
Oh, I am
The whole world will cease to make any sense.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
Look at the incredible changes we've experienced and survived. And yet even greater changes are still to come.
Are you ready?
My soul shall scream in hell.
All right. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I think it looks better than the first entry in the trilogy. Let's just take another look at it as we chit chat here. I mean, the Bone Temple is great. Ralph Fiennes was awesome. He was the one thing about the second act of 28 Years Later that actually worked for me. I really enjoyed his character. I think Jack O'Connell is a brilliant actor. I mean, his take on or his turn as Remake in Sinners is extraordinary, like very alluring and seductive in a different kind of way that, vampires are usually sexually seductive, but he's more politically seductive and just very, he plays his roles when he plays these bad guys. he plays them with this certain amount of like glee that I really, really dig. So I'm curious to see what can happen here with the Bone Temple. I do think it's going to be better than the first film in this trilogy, because I don't think that movie was very good at all. I think I gave it a 2.5 stars. It might be closer to 2 stars for me 28 years later. This looks like it's going to be a lot better. And yeah, Mika says it does appear to have more of a storyline. Yeah, I agree there, Mika. This seems to be, that's the problem I have with 28 years later, is that it knows there are more movies coming, so it doesn't tell a complete story. And I hate that about that movie, because even if you're part of a trilogy, you should tell a complete story. The Empire Strikes Back tells a complete story, and it's the middle chapter of a trilogy. You know, and you can say the same for most movies that have sequels, especially when they're planned. You know, there's no need for 28 years later to have been a 2-act story. So anyways, I'll stop bitching about 28 years later. I want to know what you guys think in the live chat. And of course, if you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we cover horror movie news all the time. Make sure the notification bell is hit and you won't miss a thing. All right, guys, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got in the chat. I might just barrel on through the rest of the news here. Sean Laughlin says, as someone who found years just confused about creative decisions, Bone Temple has got me very curious. There you go. I'm right there with you. Yeah, just 2 stars. Yeah. Billy, I saw you ask something here about Cillian Murphy. I mean, Bloody Disgusting, it said right there in the article that it's reported that he's going to be in the movie. I don't think there's been any confirmation. It's just something that's been talked about. So I'm going to believe it when I see it. How about that? That's the way I'm going to roll with that one. Okay, guys, let's just go ahead and get through the news here. I don't want to hold up anyone from, you know, checking out Brett, Brad, and Chris over on Good Real Hunting. So let's just go ahead and knock these next few out. All right, guys, exciting news here, as we've got a report of Sam Raimi producing a remake of the 1978 killer doll cult classic Magic. Now, I've never seen the original film. I guess it really is a cult classic. I haven't even heard of this one, but I've read a little bit about it, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. So let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching after the fact. I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan. You know, I mean, The Evil Dead is my favorite horror franchise of all time. So even when he's producing, and I would say maybe even especially when he's producing, you know, I think the newer Evil Dead direction is very interesting. And I really trust him and Rob Tappert and Bruce Campbell with that property. And so I've learned to trust that Sam knows how to pick people, you know. So producing a remake of this film, it'll be very interesting to see you know, what kind of stamp he can put on it by who he hires to helm the film. So this article comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting, and let's get right into it here. The article says, the 1970s cult classic Magic, starring Anthony Hopkins, is getting a remake, with Bloody Disgusting learning this afternoon that Sam Raimi will produce alongside Roy Lee. The, quote, newly imagined take on the 1978 killer doll movie comes courtesy of Lionsgate, with Chris Hammond and Tim Sullivan also on board to produce the upcoming movie. The project will be written by Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, who wrote Freddy vs. Jason and Send Help. The original Magic starred Anthony Hopkins as Corky, a magician who reaches fame alongside his ventriloquist dummy, the obnoxious and wisecracking Fats, whom Corky cannot control. Also starring Anne Margaret and Burgess Meredith, directed by Richard Attenborough, and written by William Goldman, based on his novel, the movie was... Oh my gosh, you guys, I swear I can read. Also starring Anne Margaret and Burgess Meredith, directed by Richard Attenborough and written by William Goldman, based on his novel, the movie made waves even before its release with its terrifying TV ads, which declared, quote, magic is fun, we're dead, end quote. Meredith Wyke and Pavan Kaladindi? Okay. Meredith Wyke and Pavan Kaladindi are overseeing the project for Lionsgate. And we've got, you know, it looks like Megan Navarro, you know, way back on Bloody Disgusting in 2023, wrote about the original film that it's an underappreciated wrote about the original film that it's an underappreciated classic and one of horror's most unnerving love stories. So that was for the 45th anniversary. So, maybe it looks like we'll probably have this movie before the 50th, I would imagine. But maybe right around there, depending on how long they take to, develop this. So they've got the original trailer for the for the 1978 cult classic here. I don't feel the need to really watch that, but I am curious to know what you guys think. Let me know if you've seen this movie, either if you're in the live chat or if you're watching after the fact. I guess I got to check this one out just to see like what kind of way, that I think, Sam Raimi can put his stamp on this one by bringing in the right people. But yeah, we don't really get any idea of, who's going to be directing or anything like that. Although we do have the writers here in Mark Swift and Damian Shannon. So I am sort of curious here, to follow this one as the pre-production goes along. Because again, like I said, I love Sam Raimi. But guys, let me know what you think in the live chat. Jump on into the comments. Let me know what you think down below if you're watching after the fact. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, and hit that notification bell because we're covering horror movie news and TV news and comic books and video games. If it's horror and it's newsworthy, it's going to be here on the Davey Death Ray channel. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, let's just barrel on through the next couple stories here. I keep on covering this one, and man, I hope this movie doesn't suck. I just don't know if I've got high hopes for this one. But here we go. All right, guys, so Queens of the Dead, the new Tina Romero zombie movie, is clawing its ways into theaters this October. And, we knew that previously. I don't think we had a date. So this article here nails down a date for us. And yeah, Tina's name looks familiar because her dad is George A. Romero. So she's taken her turn here at the zombie subgenre, and it's going to be a little bit of a different one. This article comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting, and it says, Tina Romero, the daughter of late horror master George A. Romero, makes her own mark on the zombie genre with upcoming Queens of the Dead, and the official teaser poster has been unleashed this morning. Check it out down below. Here in North America, Queens of the Dead will shamble into theaters October 24th, 2025. And the synopsis of the film is a zombie apocalypse breaks out in Brooklyn on the night of a giant warehouse party where an eclectic group of drag queens, club kids, and frenemies must put aside their drama and use their unique skills to fight against the brain-thirsty undead. And we've got a whole bunch of people starring in this film. I'll put that up on the screen for you so you guys can check it out. It looks like Shudder is playing a part in this, as is IFC. And guys, I think this movie could be really fun if it's like a tongue-in-cheek, like almost like a Shaun of the Dead, Dead Alive kind of feel. I'd rather have it feel like that than have this set up and try to take it too seriously. The whole frenemies things and club kids. It just seems like there should be some, there should be some good comedy, especially between the frenemies. So I'm hoping that we've got some good comedy here. And Romero, I just wanted to use these quotes here from Entertainment Weekly. Romero said, quote, "The zombie apocalypse is such a rich sandbox to play in when it comes to social commentary. I can't be my dad's daughter without making an attempt at saying something with zombies. I did want this to be a film in which I am paying homage to the world and the monster he created, but I'm also introducing my own voice. It's very much not a film he would make, but it is using his vocabulary and it is playing by his rules. As far as the queer element, on one hand, I just feel like the gays need a zombie film. It's time that we get to have a big gay zombie movie," end quote. So, I guess I can't really argue with her on that. I mean, I like it when, oh my gosh, and I haven't even been sharing the art. Okay, there we go. I think all movies should kind of be for everyone, but I think this movie sounds like it's going to be for everyone. If it's entertaining, if it's fun, it seems like it's got a tongue-in-cheek kind of vibe just from what we've seen and the imagery that we've got here on the poster and the way she's describing it. I love that the title is very similar to like the Dawn of the Dead kind of title with that. It's almost got the you know, the Star Wars crawl kind of look to it, that perspective. I like that. And yeah, this movie seems like it's going to be a total riot. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And of course, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, and hit the notification bell because we're covering horror news, whether it's TV, movies, comic books, video games, the whole damn thing. We're covering all that all the time here, and you don't want to miss a thing. All right, guys, let's see what you got here. I do think Dallas is going to get destroyed by the Eagles. Yes, it's going to be worse than the Super Bowl was for the Chiefs. How about that? Let's see. Oh, I got to bring this up. KB says about Magic. The old guy in the room remembers this was out the same time as Grease and Jaws 2. Poster had a scary dummy doll. What kind of dummy dolls aren't scary? They all creep the hell out of me, but I like them. I like that kind of creepy shit. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh my gosh, we've got Sam from Our Life in Horror, one of our brand new channel members. Welcome on in, Sam. Hope you're doing well. This is going to be by 4 o'clock in the morning, Sam. It's going to be 30 days, no alcohol. So how about that? Okay, guys, I've got just one more, and this is a fun one. And I'll make sure to actually have the website up when we're talking about this. How about that? How about out? All right. I mean, you know, if it's Jaws, I'm going to cover it, right, guys? You just know that. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Guys, I had plans last week to see Jaws twice in the theater. It didn't work out, but I do have a ticket for, I think it's Sunday at 9 p.m. or something like that to check it out in 3D. So I'm really, really excited. All right. We've had a bunch of really interesting box office news this year, whether it's, you know, brand new properties like Sinners completely blowing up the box office, or if it's like a legacy sequel like Final Destination Bloodlines coming back after a big break and, you know, completely blowing the doors off the place. And then we've got Superman and Fantastic Four that didn't really meet expectations. And then we've got another, you know, one-off horror movie in Weapons that did great as well. But guys, it's not just the new films from 2025 that are making money this year. That's right. Jaws, celebrating its 50th anniversary, has brought in over $10 million during this re-release. So I think it was just over about 5 or 6 days or so. It brought in over $10.5 million. Guys, it's still playing through this weekend as well. So I'm very curious. I don't expect it to make another 10, but it would be very interesting if a 50-year-old movie could run for 2 weeks and bring in $15 million about. You know, wouldn't that be kind of wild? I think that's one of the reasons why, and we talk about this on the channel, whether or not Jaws should be remade or anything like that. I mean, I think most people are against it. And I think Universal would never do it. It's a huge risk. You would have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. It might not work out. It might taint the name a little bit, and people would always think about that. Guys, they can just keep on putting out the Blu-rays, the 4Ks, the box sets. They can just re-release the original film in theaters and make millions of dollars and not even have to advertise for it. It's unbelievable. So anyways, let's go through this article. This is just very fascinating to me. Jaws is my favorite film of all time. If you're a fan as well, you can check out some really cool Jaws merch that I created on the Fourth Wall Shop. The link is in the description below. There's some really, really fun shit there. But let's check out this article by John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. The headline reads, Jaws just made $10.5 million in theatrical re-release 50 years after the original release. The article says one of the top movies at the box office right now is Steven Spielberg's Jaws. A staggering bit of information when you remember that the horror classic is 5 decades old. Jaws was re-released into theaters for the film's landmark 50th anniversary this past Labor Day weekend. And despite the fact that everyone on the planet has already seen the movie countless times over, it still managed to scare up 8.2 million across the weekend. Here in the United States, the 50th anniversary re-release passed 10.5 million from Thursday to Tuesday. That's crazy. The article continues, The selling point for this particular re-release was the fact that Jaws is now playing on IMAX and 4DX screens, with those premium ticket prices promising a whole new way to experience one of the greatest movies ever made. As filmmaker Joe Lynch raves on Instagram, quote, Jaws 3D in 4DX is possibly one of the greatest post-converted 3D films ever made. It forces you to see things you've never seen before without feeling like a gimmick. It really is like seeing the film again for the first time. It's pure movie magic, end quote. And they've got a link here where you can grab your tickets. I just need a sip of water. The article continues, a $10+ million first week for a 50-year-old movie is, needless to say, a huge testament to the enduring power of Jaws, which was watched by 3+ million people when it aired on NBC as part of a special presentation earlier this summer. Why remake a classic movie when the original is still generating such healthy box office and home video profits on its own, eh? Yeah, we're thinking the same thing, John. We're right there with you. The Death Squad and myself, we are right there with you. And then we all know the plot of the original film, so I don't see any reason to really go into that. But this is just really cool. This is just an awesome little piece of here. I'm going to put this picture there up on the screen while we talk about this. How cool is it that Jaws is making so much money at the box office at the end of the summer? I mean, this is almost it's a month and a half after its 50th or the actual mark of its 50th anniversary, and it's still bringing in the cash. Pretty amazing. I know. I don't know if this is really news. I just love it, and I love Jaws, so I wanted to share it. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat if you're watching live. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, and make sure you've got that notification bell hit, because we cover horror news all the time here on the channel, whether it's TV, movies, comic books, video games, whatever. If it's newsworthy and it catches our eye, we're covering it. So have that bell struck and you won't miss a thing. Okay, guys, let's wrap this bad boy up here. You guys have been so sweet hanging with me this whole time. Oh my gosh, did I miss this? We have another $9.99 from Reign of Horror. Says, gotta dip out. Have a good evening, everyone. Cheers. Thank you so much, bud. Really appreciate you. That is too kind. Dropping two $9.99 super chats. And guys, I'm wrapping things up here, so it looks like we're not going to reach our goal there on the super chat. That's totally fine. Super chats are just kind of a bonus. It's not anything that's required. However, I do want you to know it's really cool. The super chat goal this time is for a public watch party on Discord next week. And guys, we had an absolute blast last night watching Evil Dead 2013. And we get to put the movie up on the screen. You know, we don't have to, there's no rights issues or anything to worry about. So we can just put it all right there for you. You don't have to dig up your own copy or bring it on your own streaming service or anything like that. So really fun times. No worries on not making it this time. I'm sure we'll get it another time here. And let's see what we got here. I know I'm feeling great. I feel like I got a rocket up my ass. You know what I mean? What's happening? Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod and channel member. Can't forget that. We got Tara Brewer in the house. Says, like I said, Steven Spielberg's director of Jaws. It's the 50th anniversary, and he's the executive producer of the movie Casper for the 30th anniversary. Tara, you are on one about Casper. Maybe I need to watch that this spooky season. Never seen that movie. Billy, there's little clips of a couple unreleased scenes in the 50th documentary, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be checking it out in 3D. It's not 4DX, but it is gonna be real 3D here on Sunday evening. But yeah, guys, it's just about 5:15 my time. I know the Good Real Boys just went live. I want to encourage you guys to go on over there, say what's up to them, hang out for a little bit. I'm going to get a little NFL on and root for I don't know. Who should I root for? Maybe even though I'm a Redskins fan, maybe I should root for the Cowboys just because the Eagles are the tippy top. It's very difficult. When the Eagles and Cowboys play each other, I'm at a loss. I don't know who the hell to root for. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. But yeah, gonna have a great rest of the night here. I actually have a work meeting in about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna knock that thing out remotely. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for kicking it. celebrating 30 days of no alcohol. I got a job interview tomorrow at 2:30, so please send me all the, well wishes and positive vibes and prayers if you're into that kind of thing. I'll take whatever you got. And I will be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, live tier maker ranking of every horror franchise. So if I missed any franchises, you're going to have to let me know at the very beginning of the stream tomorrow. And also, the great thing about that is it's not me just ranking these and you guys talking to me about it. I'm going to provide you a link. You will be able to vote on each franchise as to where it fits into. And we're just going to let the chips fall where they may. So it's not even my, it's not even my decision with your guys' influence. It's going to be purely, democratic voting. It's going to be awesome. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Really appreciate the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members. Guys, Discord is really fun. You're not going to want to miss out on what's going on over there. So please make sure to join us over on Discord. I think we have about 40 or so people hanging out with us over there. It's free. You just need to sign up for an account, and then you can join us on that server. The link is in the description below. Also, guys, merch. Tons of new merch in the shop over on Fourth Wall. Use promo code SPOOKY for 10% off. That code is not going to last the entire spooky season. So don't get mad at me if it goes away and you're like, what the hell, Davey? I'll be like, I warned you. I showed off the merch so much that I even felt bad about it. But anyways, bunch of cool shit up there. I encourage you to check it out. And other than that, guys, I will see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern for the live tier maker ranking of every horror franchise ever. But until then, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.